Hey everyone. Today
How would you say remember focus is?
How is she doing this? Hang on. Check this video out. I wasn't even watching the video. I just heard the sound of the video. Dude, some people playing instruments. This is like actually watching magic. Dude, you could watch one of her hands or her feet and then just, it is fucking crazy. I mean, first, this alone. Don't even look at the feet, just look at the hands for now. Like what? This is already good, you know? It's always impressive when you see someone, it's just anyone playing a guitar or a piano or whatever, just doing shit. But then add in the feet here, watch this shit. How is she doing this? How is she splitting her brain 4 ways? Dude. I thought it was a track. This is fucking insane to watch. I don't know if she spliced it together or what, but it doesn't matter because it's still impressive to me. Like, this is insane. I was like setting shit up here. All my stuff was all wrong, and I'm like, oh yeah, I clicked into the video. Longer of the song was left. And was like, wait, how is she doing this? How is she doing this? The actual live magic. Jesus. Just fucking ran her hands along it. Imagine just being able to Matrix download this skill. You just... insane. This device alone is mental to me. You know, it's like a starship control panel. Very good. Well done, you. Oh, this is your name. I thought this was the name of the fucking thing that she was playing. She is 826 Aska lad. Really good. I haven't drawn anything for you today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I have not drawn a single thing for you today. I'll be honest with you, I forgot. I simply forgot. So I drew this yesterday. This is worth 2 days. This is worth 2 days, isn't it? What is that called? Wax Steven. That's Wax Steven. I'm gonna have a Beholder show one day that's just called Wax Steven in Oracle's Rest. It's gonna be like, what the fuck? What do you mean it's Wax Steven? And it's probably high int and they're scary. That's Wax Steven. 18 int. Scary. That's him. Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. Today we're just gonna fuck about a little bit. I'm pretty tired. I'm sort of tired from a few different things. I've come off of this heart medicine and it makes you feel woozy, dude. I feel woozy. I feel like I've got like weird blood pressure things going on in my body, and it just makes me, one minute I feel like wide awake and the next minute I feel like real, like kind of just sleepy almost. I get like weird head pressure feelings. It's weird. It's weird. Still not as bad as how I have felt, but it feels weird. And then also randomly I'll just get incredibly powerful stomach cramps. So that's fun. It feels like someone reaches into your stomach and goes "Ugh!" and then stops. And you're like, oh fuck, oh what the fuck was that? Oh, geez, oh. You know, I had a busy weekend. All right, I did a lot this weekend in terms of brain power. So I thought, well, we'll take a day to just mess around. Change of season bullshit. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's medicine. Yeah, I thought we'd just hang out, watch some videos, watch some TikToks. I want to do a small game vote. There's only 3 games I want to play. So I just thought I'd leave it up to you to pick which of the 3 we play. So when I say a game vote, it'll be between those 3 games. Naya Bear of Flame, thank you for the resubs. How you doing? Guess you wasn't here yesterday. Could have put those towards some very, very lucrative wheel spins for the D&D game. What is this? What is this on my Steam page? Why does this exist? Okay. Closing it. Closing it. What was the magic item we ended up getting? Can't remember. You know what? Do you know what is the most annoying thing? Is I woke up in the middle of the night and I thought of a really fucking great idea for something. It was D&D. It was either Cura. I don't know which campaign it was. And I was like, oh, I should write that down. But if I write it down, I'm going to have to wake up to write it down. So I'll just have to try and remember it. Forgotten it completely. Now I'm pissed. Because it was really good. It's the worst feeling. You convince yourself you'll definitely remember it. You ever convince yourself, oh, I'll definitely remember that, and then you don't, and you're like, curses! Blast! That's right, you didn't get a magic item, that's why. You did get a Crown of Madness scroll, so that's the spell. Synapse unavailable. Oh, that's right. You were here. Why are you even asking, you scum? Horned Pogasus, thanks for the 55-monther. It is my son, Horned Pogasus. Woke up and watched another episode of Vikings this morning. Cried a little bit when Ragnar said he loved Floki. Couldn't help it. Just made me feel so filled with emotion. Surprised, to be honest with you, at how emotional that show can get. Doesn't feel like the type of show that you would sit and cry at, really, does it? It's mostly just a bunch of psychopaths trying to kill everyone. It's mostly just a bunch of fucking maniacs trying to kill everyone in Odin's name. It's Pepper. I want to be Floki when I grow up. You know you don't. 86 months, man. Jesus. Thanks very much, my friend. You definitely don't want to be Floki when you grow up. He's tortured. Why would you want... I bet you any money if we gave Pepper Hat all of the things that Floki has, he would kill himself within 20 minutes. A theory. Ragnar, yeah. To be honest, the 2 scenes that have fucking cut me the deepest have been Ragnar scenes. There's a fucking amazing scene that fucked me up as well, actually, that I watched. I think it was yesterday, where he is on a ship and they're going to invade somewhere, and they're going down a river, and he's like he's all fucked up and injured, and he's on this drug. He's sort of taken a little bit of a drug, and he's sitting in this ship, and he looks out of the ship and he sees his family, but from season 1. So he sees Lagertha, he sees, child Bjorn, he sees his daughter who's dead, and he looks at them all on the fucking thing. He sees his farm, and he's like, he's become king and all this shit, but he's like, he's like regretting, and he's looking back, and he's sort of thinking to himself, I shouldn't have left that fucking farm or whatever. That was a good scene. Dude, that one got me a little bit as well. That one I was like, fuck, man. Every now and then they just absolutely bang in that show. There's some scenes where you're just like, that's hilarious. Like every now and then Travis Fimmel's just speaking in Australian, and I'm like, why is he retake it? Retake the... Why? He's just speaking... He's got an Aussie accent. Oh, fucking come over here, Bjorn. We're gonna fucking go and invade Paris, mate. And you're like, dude, redo it. Where's the people? Why is no one checking this? You know? I've given up on Lagatha. She's just American. It's hilarious. She's like, oh my god, we're gonna go and do some shit today. Oh my god, I'm gonna be Earl. You're like, alright, okay, well, she's just never gonna do it, but... Fuck, dude. But yeah, that was a good scene. I still think the best scene so far, the one that he absolutely bangs out, is the scene where he buries what's his face by himself. That was unreal. But yeah, that was a good one when he says to when he, you know, he's sort of saying bye to everyone for some reason, and he says to Floki that he loves him, and I was like, oh, that's good. Got me. Got me. Fuck, god damn it, it got me. Bit me. You son of a bitch. I saw that Leftovers was voted number 3rd in Athelstan. Okay, just spoil it. I mean, I was avoiding trying to be too spoilery, but you could just write the spoiler in the chat that I clearly avoided. It's all good. No, it's all good. Genius shit from the chat room, as always. I figure it's best not to just outright spoil. I can say little things that are just like, you know, that could be anywhere. Oh, he's floating along in a boat, going somewhere. Versus just outright spoiling, you know. It's all good. Isn't Hickey banned from doing that? I thought Hickey was banned from doing that. You know what that means, Lux? 72 hour timeout. Kia's earned a 72-hour timeout. Ladies and gentlemen. I thought we banned him from that. I thought it was illegal. The king has spoken. Orkish has a theory that Hickey is Ratch's work account. Why does Ratch have a work account? I feel bad now. Don't feel bad. It's so sus. He never makes spelling errors. Ratch would tell us though. Why are you awake? Dude, the rugby account on TikTok is what I imagine Orkish would be like if he was English. In fact, it's probably just going to be Orkish when he finally gets here. The every rugby lad guy. This guy.
Boys, last person to the changing rooms has to get off with me. Wait, boys, just keep it running, mate. You're not even fucking running, Hugo. Get a new chop on the mullet, bro. No, for really, I need to get a new chop on the mullet, mate. I'm starting to look Australian, bro. And we all know them guys can't dance. You know what I fucking mean?
This is Orkish if he was English.
Mate, I'm a god, mate. Mate, you've got... Benedict, I saw your schlong in the shower. Fair play, mate. Fair play. Hey, have you seen the way that Ben runs? Runs on his fucking toes, bro. Have you seen it? Looks like fucking Mr. Tumnus, bro. No, he does. His name on the group chat, Mr. Tumnus. That's fucking great chat, bro. No pace, bro. You've got... Been playing ruggers since I came out the womb, bro. Came out. My mum's a JJ, and apparently I just passed back the scissors to cut my umbilical cord. No, straight out the womb. Honestly, I was trying to tackle the nurses. Is that the other team over there? Is that the other team? Mate, they better not make me see fucking red, bro. Boys.
Is it 100%? This is what Orcish is like. Me another one.
Boys. Whoever doesn't score a try this match has to down a pint of my piss. Mate, it's for the fucking banter. It's banter. Come on, boy. Yes, lad. Hugo, come on. Evade the tackle like your dad evades taxes. Come on, bro. Find a fucking loophole. Call your lawyers and find a loophole, mate. Evade those tackles, brother. Mate, later at the social, do you want to play Rim Raiders again? No, I know it got out of
This is Orcish every time I'm speaking to him. He's like, did you want to kiss and
rims get raided, bro.
touch each
Rims
other's
get raided.
penises? I'm like, what? Why did
You hear
you...
about Monty's dad's business got liquidated? I've seen Monty liquidated.
Not the rich side of it, just the side of it where he's quietly trying to get off with all of the boys in the room. And you're like, oh, okay. Orcish. Just reminds me of him. Just talking to Orcish and you're just like, why does he want me to... Why does he keep wanting me to send him pictures of my bumhole? Did you want to kiss? That's top band. You're like, okay. Anyway. That's what reminds me of Orcish. The posh side of it and the playing rugby and doing sports part. Absolutely not. I don't know if Orcish can actually lift his own body weight out of his chair anymore. He's got that Warcraft build. Why is he awake? Did you get up thinking that we were playing Lord of the Rings? Have you been to bed yet? Have you slept? Are you at your computer or are you in bed? What are you doing? I don't trust it when he's here this early. I've gained weight since I've become a full-time streamer. You still, yeah. To be fair, I gained weight since becoming a full-time streamer until 3 months ago when I lost all of it in 2 weeks. Which was insane. An insane feeling. I'm still losing it. I also found out that partially the reason I'm losing so much weight is because my heartbeat is beating so fast. Because my resting heartbeat is 96. So it just my body is like, oh, we're running, constantly running. Okay, keep burn off the fat. We haven't got any left. What is going on with that Nick Ricardo guy? I don't know anything or care anything about that whole situation, but like, was it a scam? Did he trick everyone? Like, not a scam, I guess, but like, did he trick everyone? Maybe I should follow your diet plan. Just dangerously go against all medical advice and quit a complex drug cold turkey. Why do you keep saying I did that? In order to make his jokes, he has to just add a lie in there. You know? It's like when Maya doesn't understand my jokes because it's factually incorrect. I'm like, I just said the word Egyptian, you know, so that you got like an idea in your head of like the pyramids and stuff. And Maya will be like, well, actually, technically, Cairo wasn't actually invented until 1401. You never lie for your jokes. I've never lied in my life. Thank you very much. He was uploading pre-recorded videos while losing weight for 2 years. That's not possible. 2 years worth of pre-recorded videos is an insane amount of work. How often does he upload videos, I guess? For what reason? Just for this? What the fuck? Why? Why? I don't know. The thing is, I don't know anything about that guy. I've only ever seen him in memes. Once a month. Once a month to 4 different channels. Well, which is it? His post got less consistent. It's so weird. I had to at one point. There was a point where I was working for a particularly famous YouTuber, and because we were going away at the end of the year for like a month, we had to get a month ahead of daily uploads. We had to make 30 videos, and it was so difficult to do. It took us like 9 months to get to that, to get ahead like that. It was so hard to do. It's why it like fucking freaks me out when I see like people do that. I'm like, oh, I guess if you're just doing 1 a month, it's not too hard to do. Some of the hardest I've ever had to work in my life, that was. I also went from working not particularly hard for like a year into working the hardest, probably the hardest I've ever worked in my entire life. Immediately, overnight. And let me tell you something, it was definitely worth it. It was definitely worth it in every way. God, if I could get that time back. If I could turn back time and you're on away. This is the stream, by the way. I'm not doing anything today other than talking about whatever enters my brain in that moment. Too bad you can't, Brad. Game when? I don't know. I don't know what it means. I don't know why he said that. Why is everyone bongo tapping? What's happening? Look, I'm tired. I'm running on one wheel. A car running down the street on one wheel. What do you want from me? What do you fucking want? You said you could turn back time literally 20 seconds ago. No, I didn't. Alright, I'm done. I'm not talking to chat anymore. I'm just going to watch this video.
So, we're still in Saginaw. It's the day after the cookies and milk challenge, and ordinarily I would try and avoid doing 2 in 2 days, but I'm craving something savoury, and I heard that this place, Tony of Shields, does a giant grinder challenge. I realise that grinder means something different back home. Don't think I'm quite ready for that challenge yet. Although I do love sausage.
I thought you meant grinder for weed.
Man, I feel tired
That's
today.
how fucking fucked my brain is.
Probably something to do with the fact that I ate like 400 grams of sugar yesterday, meaning I was unable to sleep last night. No excuses though. Let's get it done. Alright, here we go. Tony's restaurant, home of the giant steak sandwich, apparently. I don't think the grinder has steak in it, although I could be wrong. I thought it was like chicken or something.
I love that he's just hanging out in Michigan. My home state. Right. Why do you love Michigan? I love talking to Americans that have been indoctrinated with that weird thing where they're like obsessed with their hometown.
Busy. Yeah, it's just me. I'm here for the. You have like a giant.
Literally, you say if you have an audience of Americans, all you have to do is just say where you are, you know, or say where they're from, and they are fully erect. It's hilarious. They're like Pavlovian trained. You just get to go Michigan, and everyone from Michigan goes, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? It's like magic. It's like doing a magic spell. And all of the people from the place that you say just go like a bunch of murlocs.
Go ahead and take a seat anywhere.
Anywhere? Oh, thank you. Thank you
If
very
you
much.
mention my hometown to me, I'll
Alright.
probably...
Took a little while
I'd
to get
probably just
situated,
throw
trying to figure
up.
out the best place to film, because the lighting dynamics are a little bit tricky. Lots of natural light coming in from outside, lots of different coloured lights on the inside, so the video will probably look a bit janky, but I'll do my best. Can I order the thingy?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
What kind of shake you want?
Imagine loving Hertfordshire. Yeah. Just it's the weirdest thing. Yeah, and in London, in London they'll stab you. And in London you will get stabbed. Go back to bed. You can do better than this. I know you can. It's a cool state. We have the biggest freshwater lakes in the world, big cities, and lots of wilderness natural beauty.
What do I get to choose from?
Strawberry, chocolate, or vanilla?
Ooh, I'll go with the vanilla, please.
It's a pound of fries and gravy. It's a full loaf of bread.
Right?
Got ham, turkey, both cheeses, American Swiss.
Okay.
Mayo, lettuce, tomato, pickles, onions, ketchup, mustard, and bacon.
Bacon is good for me.
I didn't realize it came with fries as well. Look at the size of that thing. Thank you very much. It's a thick sandwich.
This actually doesn't look too bad for him. I think he's going to demolish this. It's a lot, but if you think about it, we've seen him do those like really long sandwiches that are like, they look to me like 4 of those. Now, this one has a time limit. That's the thing with this one. You only get 30 minutes. So maybe that's the challenge more so than the amount. But I think he's gonna do that easy. I literally have. We've only ever seen him fail once. I have more than an unbelievable amount of faith in him at all times.
I don't think I've seen many sandwiches that look this good in my entire
Also,
life.
yeah,
I've been doing this a
Miko.
long time.
Yeah, you do in America. America, like, the thing is, when you look at America from the outside perspective, you can see, like, the clear indoctrination into all the random things. And it's fucking weird to watch. Like, when you do the Star Spangled Banner or whatever at the beginning of the day, or you do that, what's it called? The Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance. That's the scariest shit ever to people outside of America. When you watch a class full of kids do that, you're like, what the fuck are they doing? And then you see everyone, you're like, oh, you've been indoctrinated into believing this weird, like, love for your home state and hometown and shit. You've been Pavlovian trained like animals to respond. Not saying that we don't have similar things in varying places, in other places around the world. There's fucked up things about the UK. There's fucked up things about Europe that they don't have in America. But that one in particular is always funny to me when you watch Americans. All you have to do is say, where are you from? And then just say you like it there and they love you for it. You know, if you're on stage and you're in Michigan and you just go, Michigan's wonderful, I love it in Michigan, everyone goes, you're like, what the fuck? They're like orcs. You know, orcs strong together. You're like, what the fuck, dude? You guys, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're under a spell. You're all under a spell. It's terrifying. It's hilarious.
It's a thing of beauty. A work of art, no less. Let's get started.
Hey, what happens when Manchester loses a big match? I'm not saying that we don't have it as well. Okay? I'm not saying we don't have these nationalistic things and we don't have, you know, every country in the world has it when it comes to sport. Sport clearly doesn't count. You have it outside of sport. You guys have it outside of sport and it's weird. You can just say it to normal people and they react like Manchester United fans. And you're like, what the fuck? I just said where you're from. Why are you reacting to that? Absolutely insane to witness. Everyone has it in sports places around the world because people who like sports are orcs. That's exactly what they are. They paint their faces with dorky little colours and they scream at other men. The stronger men. Orcs.
Probably not going to be able to eat this like a sandwich. So, I'm likely to need these. Sorry, what are the rules?
It's FOMO, dude. I would love to be. Dude, I would love... You know I would love to be a religious sports fan type human. I fucking hate it here. I hate being what I am. I would love it, and I can't. I want to be indoctrinated too. Give me a purpose in life.
And if you do finish
Get rid of my
30
existential
minutes,
dread.
What do you? It's free, and you get a T-shirt. Pretty excited about that. And if you don't,
Has
finish
he worn
in
the same T-shirt for every single one of these, or is he just wearing a collection of Vans shirts that they sent him?
30 minutes. How much does it cost?
Sponsored?
$29.99.
Are you
That's pretty
fucking
reasonable.
sponsored?
You have to finish both of these, by the way.
Okay, ready, go.
Thank you. I'm gonna make a mess.
Already so disgusting. I saw a TikTok
Let's get
earlier
the
on where a
veggies out
guy
of the way
put
first.
mayonnaise and
fine
Guinness
tactic.
into a pint and drank it.
Much choice, really. Pulling the meat out would not be a good look. Pulling the meat out of the sandwich, I mean.
Grim Vapula.
Welcome back.
Count Vapula. Thank you for the resub, my friend.
We don't make excuses here, man. We don't make excuses.
But he loves
Yeah, save
Vans.
of
I believe
course
it.
for when we do make excuses, which is almost all the time. Oh, this woman is gold. Wait for this. Wait for this.
What's wrong with that?
I tell you, competition is hot, but that could be the best NPC line of the trip so far. I think she just came in to use the toilet as well.
He laughed at that.
Kind
We
of
don't talk
frowned
to each
upon
other in this country.
socially.
No one would ever speak to
I don't
you.
know.
or you.
30 minutes.
Yeah, you know when this thing
You go to American people
initially
talk
hit the
to you
table,
and shit,
I
and
thought,
it's fucking
no
weird.
problem. It's
I
a
guess
big
maybe they
sandwich,
would do it in the
sure,
north
but
of England, so he
simple day at the
might
office.
be more used to
But as
it.
soon as I realised just how densely packed it was, how chewy the bread was, it promptly dawned upon me that it perhaps was not going to be quite that simple.
Yeah, the chewing
The
upsets
MVP
me.
is back.
You ever have a big
Wonder if she's going to buy anything on her way
steak
out.
and you have to chew for ages and you
Nope.
just your jaw
Doesn't
gets
look like
tired
it.
and you're not
Did you
hungry
get the
anymore?
giant steak sandwich? Was it good? It's pretty giant. Not quite this giant though.
What's on there?
Everything in the kitchen is in this, I think. They should really serve it on a bigger plate, I think.
I hate that he's not eating the sandwich like a sandwich. That's because
This
you're
is gonna be tight,
neurodivergent, though.
Yeah, well, flipping shut up and start scoffing.
You must
then.
remain within the
In case you missed
lines.
it, you only get half an hour for this one, which is not
The predetermined
generous.
lines. The irony of being
Well-
neurodivergent is being upset when people diverge.
I don't know what it is,
From
but
the appropriate
patrons seem a
structure.
little less enthusiastic here than
Set up.
elsewhere on this trip so far. 10 minutes down, and we're not even halfway yet. This ain't looking good. That bread is so chewy. I mean, it's lots of girl, but the hardest part.
Saw
by
this
a
guy
mile
when he
is the
visited Norway.
chewing for
Nice
me.
dude. You're doing the Limmy thing.
This is rough going, man.
Had the pleasure of meeting Beard Meats Food at a charity do once. He was surprisingly down to earth and very funny.
Yeah, I mean,
Crimson
you're not wrong.
Cassius.
I'm sorry.
you
It's
for the
starting to feel like a
resub,
bit of a
my
workout,
friend.
though. And in case you missed it in the,
This is
the intro,
exactly
this
what every
costs
family-owned diner is like in the
$29.99
US.
to
Literally
order.
one old,
But if you can get it done,
only
the
old
meal
people
is
that have
free.
been going there for 45
You get a
years.
spot
Yeah,
on
I
their
believe that.
fairly sparsely occupied wall of fame, and a T-shirt for your troubles as well.
This is a big sandwich. I should have expected it really, because they call that the giant steak sandwich, and that really isn't that big.
I don't trust these places. Listen, I don't trust anywhere. If you're running a little mom and pop diner, you got to be cutting corners on price. You have to. How the fuck can you afford fresh produce every day? You can't, because you're not a big company. So I don't trust that your stuff is fresh. That being said, you go to a big company and all their stuff is like frozen. It's been in there for 6 years.
I'm trying.
At Gatwick Wetherspoons, you could add an extra patty to your burger for £1. And you could keep going up to
60
8.
minutes left.
My mate ordered it and told the staff I was a competitive eater because I had a vlog camera and they came out to watch me eat it. Did you have to eat the whole thing? And did you do it?
Okay, yep, that's fine.
It could be on the wrong side of the wall.
Who's ordering produce at a grease
Yeah,
diner?
come on,
I
enough
just
of
mean it's like that
lollygagging.
food
We've
has
got,
to
like,
be out of
half of
date.
the allotted time remaining, and not only have we got the bread to finish, but the fries and the milkshake too. Better get a wriggle on.
The bread was the tough part there. He should smash this now.
You get started on the milkshake.
Johan,
Oh, such a relief.
a Viking, strolls
milkshake
into the
helps.
chat room.
Not gonna lie, don't know why they serve it up in 2 containers
Better
though.
resub, pal.
But you do have to finish every last drop in both in order to win.
Oh, come on. I'm sorry.
They
can I
charge
get,
$20 a sandwich because all other customers are
Diet
boomers
Coke
and have made
or
2
Pepsi
millions
Max
at
or
home.
anything like that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, a
true.
little late for the tactical Diet Coke if you ask me. Dropped the ball a bit there. I should say that it is incredibly fortuitous that the fries are served with gravy, otherwise this
You made a
part would
go of
be
it until they
even
lost
harder.
interest and then you just left. It's got 8 minutes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, he's fine. I finally played
milkshake is
Stardew
thick.
Valley.
Down to the wire.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, only 7 minutes remaining.
I tried playing Stardew
It's starting
Valley.
to look a little
It was the
less
most successful
hairy now.
game I played that
Just the
year.
remaining fries, a milkshake to go, and fingers crossed we should be home and hosed.
But I don't
No, I
understand why everyone loves it so much.
Do you have any
What I don't understand is how
napkins?
people get so
I'm just
addicted
making
to
a
it.
real mess. Thank you. Well, thank you very much.
Did you have a good time?
You're not
It
sticking
was
around for the
fine.
big finale?
I'm sorry. I'll just have water. Actually, do you guys have Coke?
We're on a wig and accept your cozy gamer status. Have you tried playing
No,
streaming
I'm almost
Stardew
there.
Valley, Orcish? Because it was genuinely the most successful game I played that year.
That's probably a good thing.
Most views I had all year.
I mean, the fact that you can't see this.
I played it for like a week and got bored and turned it off.
All right, to clarify,
People
this
love
lady
it
was
and they're
not
just
actually
obsessed
blind.
with
She'd
it.
been to some kind of eye appointment, rendering her sight temporarily less dependable than usual. Still, probably did put my foot in my mouth a bit there. Anyway,
Why is
hope you
Lux
enjoyed it.
upset?
As always,
She's been
I'll
asking
catch
me
you
to do it
next one.
forever.
Alright, the Spin Meets Food, and that was Tony of
It was
Shields'
all white girls, yeah.
Giant Deli Grinder Sandwich Challenge.
Only white girls will watch.
Just
But that's
about
what
in
he
the nick of
wants,
time.
Orcish. He's one of those horrible streamers that preys on his chat room. Oh, he's going to attack me now. He's going to attack me now.
That was.
Got a huge
Harder than I
update.
expected.
Is fishing playable now?
Oh, thank you.
What are you getting? Chicken tenders?
I would say it was like a satisfactory job. Just in the nick of time. I think I got just about enough room left for one of those old-fashioned desserts, though. I'll try one of
No.
those.
No.
Excuse me, are you on YouTube?
Yes, yeah.
What's your username?
Sorry, I'm feeling it a little bit. The name of my channel is Beard Meets Food.
Okay.
Okay.
If you just type in like Beard Guy Eats Stuff, you'll find me. You know.
I found you a yellow medium, and then a hat too.
Oh, a hat as well. Oh, thank you very much. You're not gonna miss me in that, right? That is, without doubt, the brightest winner's T-shirt I've ever won. Good lord, that's the pie.
Oh, fuck.
That's huge.
There you go.
Thank you. That probably wasn't a very good idea. Yeah. Well, no guts, no glory. Gotta finish it now. Oh.
I'll kill for cake. I haven't had any sugar. Yesterday
Yeah, you
I ate
weren't
some
wrong, it's good.
biscuits. Oh, stop the presses. Yesterday I ate some biscuits. I haven't had any sugar in like 4 months.
That was like a food challenge in itself.
You do get over it though. Like I have no sugar cravings anymore.
Nice to meet you, man.
Just stop eating it for a month and
Nice to meet you, man.
you'll never need sugar again.
Oh, goddamn. That was harder than I thought it was gonna be.
You feel like shit? No, I felt fine. But it's partially just because I'm starting to feel better, I think. I'm not gonna curse it too much. I don't want to jinx that shit too badly. So, everything makes me feel good right now because I just don't feel as bad as I felt last week. And last week I didn't feel as bad as I felt the week before, you know. By the way, by biscuits, I mean cookies. I had 2 very small, thin cookies for Americans. Because biscuits, they think I ate like a whole thing. Whatever a biscuit is to Americans. A scone. His digestive system must be vacuum sealed the morning after he pushes it out. I just don't know how he does it. I think he did a video once. I think we watched it, but I've forgotten. Where he explained like how he does it. Oh, he was on a podcast or something where he talks about the process, but he just doesn't eat for like 3 days now. He does one of the challenges and then just doesn't eat for a couple of days. And he's well into fitness and shit, so he just does loads of fitness stuff. Also, I imagine if you just have to drink a lot of liquids and stuff, right? Be fine. They are better than scones if you have the right accompaniment. It spoke like it was, oh, going down the ruggers. A rugby player. I saw him in Tesco's last year. No, he didn't. Lying again. I know, Orkish. He's so ready for the UK. He's gonna hate it. All Americans do, because they're like, why is my portion only a normal human-sized portion? Why am I losing weight and healthy? This is fucking... Why does the food not taste like carcinogens? Every American that comes to the country is like, why does everything not taste unbelievably overpowered? You guys don't know how to... You guys... What? You don't have any seasoning? Season your food. It's like, dude, you need to not season it as much in America. That would save my life. If these people would stop giving me a water buffalo's portion of pot roast. You're moving in with Liam. That's what's happened. It's been decided. We're moving him in with Liam. Liam will be less of a sad, broken, lonely old man living in a house by himself. And Orkish will eat Liam's health food. Healthy food that he makes every day. Liam makes so many portions of food. It's insane. For a man living by himself, he has a freezer that is filled with multiple different meals that he cooked that last months. An insane person. And Orkish can just eat those. And they won't be filled with fucking, you know, death and cancer. So Orkish will slowly get into shape, which will improve his mood. Liam will be not lonely anymore. The two of them will be living their best lives passively. They won't even need to speak to each other. But they will improve each other's lives with their passive AoE buffs. It's simple. The answer has been there all along, right in front of our eyes. Toma Toasted, my friend, thank you for the 61-monther. Could I get along with his head butler? Well, you would never be invited to his family dinners. I barely ever get invited to those. If you went to Liam's home grounds, darling, it would be a very different affair. Oh, you've brought a savage with you. Where's he from? The colonies? Just leading you in on a chain. Bring the savage over here. Does he speak? Does he speak? Are you literate, savage? And the irony is, Orcish would literally just be there like, you feed Orcish. Look at it. Feed it something. How does it eat? Does it know how to use cutlery? Just eating it. Feed it from a trough like the animals. Minty, look what we've got here. Look, darling. We've got a savage from the colonies. It's just Orcish. He's just like, hi everyone, how are you? The thing is, Liam's family eat fucking crazy food. They eat like elderberry flowers and gooseberry sauce over a duck and quail reduction. I don't know. The way that they eat is fucking nuts, dude. I used to go to his house. An actual feral savage, you know, dragged in. I literally would show up at their house like a Victorian pauper. Please, cap in hand. Do you mind if I have a baked bean, sir? It's just what I haven't eaten for over a fortnight. Liam's mum would be like, make him some fucking dinner for fuck's sake. And they'd pull out like what they were eating. They'd have their dinner. And it would be literally like, we've got some conkers over a palm berry reduction and a goose. And it would be the most insane thing. I literally wouldn't have heard of half of the ingredients that they'd be eating. And I'd be like, Liam, what the fuck are you eating? What the fuck is this? And he'd just be like, it's a fucking palm gooseberry reduction over a... I'd be like, what the fuck are you eating? I was brought up exclusively on scraps. I don't know what it was, but it was, you know, McDonald's scraps. Chicken nuggets. I was brought up on chicken nuggets. Microwaved. You know, and just normal food. You know, spaghetti bolognese. Normal food. And he'd have this insane fucking meal. But because I would go around there and I'd beg for food, they would make me some food, but they'd have to make me something quick, so they'd just make me beans on toast. So I'd still get what I would eat at home. They'd be like, here's some fucking cheese on toast. It's all, you know, you've arrived when we're serving dinner and there's not enough for you, so we're going to make you something else real quick. And they just make me some chicken nuggets. So either way, I would end up just getting the same thing. But they'd all be sitting there eating this fucking weird shit that they fucking found. And Liam still eats like that. Which is why when I see those videos of that guy who's like picking nettles or whatever, you know, he'd be picking nettles and he'd be, I'm going to make a nettle salad and stew. It reminds me of Liam because I'm like, what the fuck are you guys eating? How old are you for this? Like early mid-teens onwards. I met Liam when I was like 13 and then was friends with him until I moved into a crack den at like 19, 20. And then didn't see him like 20 years old. So this would have been like 13 through 20. Nettle soup when poor. I've never heard of it because I just lived off of shit that you cook in the oven for 20 minutes, you know, just a pizza. And Liam would have pizza as well, but he'd have all sorts of crazy shit on it that you'd never heard of. French olives, hand-picked by a slave in Marseille. You'd be like, what the fuck? You'd be like, yeah, what do you have on your pizza? I'm just like, cheese. You freak. He's like, yeah, We've got cheese on this, fromage frais. Oh yeah, we've got fromage frais as well. You're like, what the fuck? Yeah. It's salted. It's 100,000 years old, salted with Mediterranean sweat from a dead man. You're like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck are you eating? Let's order a Domino's. Liam was your gateway drug to what? Being rich? No. This rich guy I was friends with, his pantry was so full of delicious foods I was not allowed to have any of it. Well, I didn't know what any of it was and it didn't appeal to me. I basically have ARFID, so like I don't really taste things. I think I could taste a bit better back then, but I wasn't bothered about food when I was younger. I've never been interested in food, and the older I got, my taste buds have gotten worse and worse and worse over time, so I don't really taste things very, very strong. So I'm double not interested in food. So I'm not excited about experimenting with foods and tasting new things and stuff like some people are. Most people, in fact, I've always felt like. And I was always like, I don't want that. I'd just go to Tesco and buy myself a sandwich instead. If they would like offer me some like fucking weird shit. He was groomed by some rich old guy, yeah. A saltine cracker, yeah. No, I was brought up on, 50p noodles. That's dinner. Some dry fucking noodles. Would you do great on hot ones? Probably not. I never ate spicy food as a kid because I have some sort of problem with my stomach. I don't know what it is. It's gotten better as I've gotten older. But I can't really drink like very highly acidic or spicy things without getting really bad stomach aches. It feels like I've been stabbed in the middle of the night. I just wake up and be like, oh, because I used to drink quite heavily, and I would drink cider, and I would get such bad stomach aches, just horrible pains, and I would get that with spicy food as well. So for most of my life, I avoided spicy food. Then I was in a relationship with someone who exclusively ate spicy food for 10 years. Emma loves spicy food, and she would eat just like people that eat the hotter. You're like, how are you eating this? Like, it's melting their face off. They look like they've just opened the Ark of the Covenant from Indiana Jones, and they're like, oh, this is delicious. Well, meanwhile, their skin and their eyes are falling out of their head, and you're like, what the fuck? She's one of those people. So she would eat really spicy food. And over the course of our relationship, I drank a lot less, which reduced the stomach pains I would get. And I sort of tentatively would eat more and more spicy food. Now I can handle pretty, relatively spicy food. Not very intense spicy food, but I like spice now. I've been eating more spicy food. I have to be sort of careful with it because it does hurt me sometimes. I just can't handle. In terms of handling it in just general toxic masculinity terms, I'm a bit of a pussy about it. I'm not, or maybe like middle of the road. I can kind of take it. I don't really mind it too bad. And I think because my taste buds are not particularly, functional, it gives me a bit of a stronger sense of it. But it still makes my eyes water and shit. and the burn still hits my mouth and stuff. My taste buds work. They just don't seem to work as well as everyone else's. So it doesn't do a lot for me. But I do enjoy spicy food now, and I will eat. I buy spicy noodles and I put chili on stuff a lot more than I used to. But I don't think I would do well on hot ones. I don't do well with spicy food anyway. I'm a little scared of it because I quite often will literally fall ill. Like, my stomach will be just, I'll be in so much pain for 24 hours that it is never worth it. Yeah, I kind of, I probably wouldn't do well, to answer the question, which is annoying. If I could get rid of the stomach pain side of it, I'd quite enjoy a lot more spicy food than I do eat. Like, I like tteokbokki and stuff, which usually is very spicy. Korean spicy food is nice. Get like a nice spicy bulgogi. But you know. What about cold ones? I'd be fine. 50p noodles. They were 11p and tasted great. The old, the original, like way back in the day, when I was like 10 years old, 11p Asda noodles. Honestly, bang. Legit. Yeah. Since Dew Fuel was not carbonated, would that be okay? I've no idea what that has to do with eating spicy food. Oh, I love tteokbokki, yeah. There was a place that we would go and eat in Brighton. There's like a Korean place in Brighton. It's really good. I don't know if there's more now, but really it was the only one that you could find if you Googled it. So if you're ever in Brighton, there's a little place down one of the little back streets off of the main road. Not the front road, the big main one that goes down the hill towards the ocean. And they do a good tteokbokki in there. And we would go there and I'd order it, and it would be too spicy for me, but I'd eat it anyway. Honestly, I would just eat nothing but that if I was allowed. It wasn't just mental that I'd walk into a restaurant and be like, I'll have 3 portions of tteokbokki for my dinner. I thought I heard you say you didn't do well with carbonated drinks. No, never said that. I said cider. Are you thinking, is that what that means in other places of the world, right? Cider just means carbonated drinks. Cider in the UK is an alcoholic apple or like fruit drink. What's that called everywhere else? Because there is places where that's different. But cider is just, you know, like, it's the sort of the strength of beer. Hard cider? Hard cider, yeah. Hard cider. Favorite food challenge is the Gaki no Tukai challenge. It's Miko looking over a burger or whatever, but it's the Attack on Titan thing. They place 12 of the same things with different manufacturers, and you have to figure out which one is the sample you previously ate, drank while blindfolded. Yeah, I would never. I'd be fucked. I'd be like, it's a burger. That's a burger. And meanwhile, in front of me is like, I'm clearly being fed tteokbokki. You know what I mean? An apple. A burger. I can't taste anything. All cider in the UK is just hard cider. You would never order cider and expect it to be non-alcoholic. I want a fucking burger. That's the best meme of that one is the one where the girl is like, the British accent is so sexy, and then it just cuts to him going, kicking the door in or whatever he's doing. I want a fucking burger. That fucking guy. Jesus Christ. Everyone in my family talks like him, by the way. I don't sound like anyone in my family. I'm the absolute fucking, just a complete anomaly.
For one, the sexiest one of them all, we have the British accent.
Who wants a fucking burger?
For one, the sexy.
Dude, what's that guy's name? Who wants a fucking burger? Explains so much. You were a little emaciated half boy, elf boy raised by orcs. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's annoying because really all it did was give me toxic masculinity. It just infects everything I do now. So now I just feel extreme guilt when I enjoy wearing a dress. You know what I mean? I just have to feel guilt about everything that I do because I'm like, well, a bloke wouldn't do that. I should go and fucking headbutt someone and eat a fucking burger and have a pint of lager. And I'm like, but I don't want to do any of those things. But it's like my coding in my brain tells me that that's how I should be doing everything. And everything I interact with, you know, I should be looking at people and be like, no, blokes shouldn't wear pink. And then I'm like, wait, no, I don't agree with that. Why did you say that? That's not... Is that my brain? What happened here? The most annoying thing. Just every bloke raised in the 90s, yeah. You're just like, raised by orcs. That last generation of orcs. That thing of like, where have all the men gone? Is true. Because it's where the toxic masculinity is gone. The last generation of toxic masculinity is over. And we're that generation. So a bunch of orcs just went, we have son, my son. And they lift up this little elf, you know, little fucking elf that's like, Father, I would love to sing and dance. And they're like, what is this? No, Father, no, this is going to fuck me up way worse. And so that's it. That's what happened. So now all of us are just half elves. We've just fucked up like an orc coding. That just I don't agree with any of it, but it's in me. My first reaction is usually an orc coded reaction, to be honest with you. My first reaction to everything is like, you know, the fucking Trump wearing just pure like MAGA wearing red hat, just conservative. Like, you know, just the worst, whatever it is, that's my first reaction to everything instantly. And then I'm like, wait, no, that's not, I've never actually felt like that. Why was that your reaction to this, you know, thing? I don't agree with that. But now I have to fight, first thing I have to do is fight this fucking coding that they put into me when I was born. The orc coding. It's really annoying. And now I can go, okay, well, this is what I actually believe and feel like. I am the opposite of all of the orc coding that is the first response that comes up. You know? I'd like to kiss boys. Is that okay? First response, no, kiss boys. And I go, yeah, no, boys not kiss boys. And then I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck was that? You know the Hulk when he like comes out, but then goes back in? He goes, no, and goes back in. That's me every time. My first response. Wait. Disagree with all of this. Let me paint my nails. So annoying. The most annoying thing. Coded by orcs. One of those books. A book that me and Orcish will release. Coded by Orcs by Bradley and Matthew. Chapter 1. Father was a bastard. My father was an orc. And yet I was born an elf. We are How to Train Your Dragon. Never seen it. Venom is what happens when you harness the orc inside you for good. Kind of. Yeah. Chapter 2. Millwall. Just an orc chant, you know, down the Millwall. Go down the den. Father was a West Ham fan. My father was a Chelsea fan, actually. I lied. I lied to you all, and I'm sorry. There you go. An orc wouldn't do that. Genuine guilt response. I lied. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, please. They can see it. They can see that you've lied. They can see through your skin, and they can see that you're lying. No one cares. No one gives a shit. The thing, flagellate. Dominus Patronus. Pure guilt. The fear of being in trouble. Father will find out that you've lied. Father will find you. I know you don't like sports, but does a small part of you still root for Chelsea a little bit? Like when you hear about a game through random chance? No, because I always hated my dad. So there was no like part of me that really ever loved him. I've always, obviously, I'm crippled mentally by the fact that my father hated me and I hated him, and it's just absolutely undone me. And I've spent my entire life desperately like, please, Father, love me, you know, with everyone I ever meet. Anyone in a position of power, I'm either like, you must die, or thank you, a drip of your blood, please, just one drip. And they cut their finger and just they drip a single drop of blood into my mouth like a fucking vampire, and I'm like, yes, thank you, master. You know, I just can't be an individual who doesn't have all of that fucking broken wiring in me. But because literally, I hated him forever. I never called him dad, never once in his life. His name was Kevin, and I called him Kevin. I called my mum, my nan, but I called my dad Kevin. So whenever I would need it, I'd be like, you know, my mum would be like, go and get your father, and I'd be like, Kevin, you know, and I'd be like, Kevin said to do this, and Kevin said to do that. So I never had like an actual loving relationship with my dad. The only time he ever liked me and respected me was when I was winning swimming medals for a couple of years in my life. Beyond that, was not bothered about me at all. I don't think he ever hugged me. He definitely didn't give me a kiss. You know, I don't really remember. I think there were times when I was very young when I was like allowed to sit on his lap and stuff, you know, like, and be hugged in that way, I guess. But basically had no relationship with this man. My memory of him, nothing. So I don't have like warm, comforting memories of a protective father. I just have this figure that was in the house who would like order me to do things, and sometimes he would let me sit downstairs or like I lived in this little back room in the house there. So you go upstairs in my mum, she still lives there. You go upstairs, there is 2 big rooms, and then there's this little like box room at the back of the house that's just this tiny little fucking room that you should just only be storing a broom closet basically. And I lived in there. Wasn't allowed out and shit. So sometimes he would let me come downstairs and watch TV with him. And usually it would only be when he was watching something funny. So I watched usually things like Harry Enfield and Friends and The Fast Show, if you remember those shows. And I didn't really like football, so I'm sure he would have let me watch football and watch Chelsea with him, but I didn't, because I'd rather be upstairs colouring in, drawing Sonic the Hedgehog and stuff. In the tune to Rugby Guy, I'll be your dad. I don't. But like, so because we had no love for each other, because he wasn't really like a father to me, he was just like a guy in the house. It was like living in a house with a T-Rex, really. It was just scary to be in his presence because you'd do something wrong and be in trouble for it. And for the most part, I just got the sense that he just didn't want me around, so I would just leave. So I wouldn't spend any time with him, really, unless I was forced to here and there. And that got worse and worse the older I got. So I don't remember. I don't have many memories. I have no memories prior to being 5 years old. I have like scattered weird memories, you know, like those, like they're just like JPEGs in my head that I can kind of access. And who knows how much of it is confabulated because it was so long ago. I have like kind of confabulated JPEG scattered images between 5 and 10. 10 to about 14, I've got increasingly more memories of. And then that continues. You know, I can remember from being about 15 onwards relatively well, with, you know, patches of, you know, as much as probably anyone can. But 10 to 14 is really the only memories I have of him, because at 14 he left and I didn't have any relationship with him beyond. I saw him a few times after that, and I've never seen him since I was 17. So the 10 to 14 period of time is really my only memory of him properly that I have, outside of what was probably just devastating damage to me as a young, you know, toddler and a child between like 5 and 10. But in those 10 to the 4 years that I have of memories of him, really, we had no love for each other. And he was like I remember one day going to him, and this was like my first taste of, because this is such a long answer to a question that I'm sure Orkish doesn't give a fuck about, but this was my first taste and why I have such an authority problem now, and why I just can't, I'm just so Rage Against the Machine. I have such an issue with like people controlling me or telling me what to do and all that. The rejection, what's that thing called that I've been joking about over the last few weeks? The defiance thing. What was that? PDA or whatever it's called. That thing. I can trace it straight back to this day, which was the day that I went downstairs, and he said to me, "You have to be a Chelsea fan." He was like, "If you're gonna, what team do you support?" Or someone asked me what team I supported, or something like that, and he said, "You must support Chelsea. You must. You have to be a Chelsea fan." Something along those lines. And my answer to him, and I don't know how old I was, probably 10, right? I said to him, who are like the enemies of Chelsea? Who is the nemesis of Chelsea? Which team do you hate the most? And he said, Arsenal. And I just sat there and I went, I'm an Arsenal fan. And it was I remember the look on his face, because it was just this like, at first I remember the look of like hurt, which hurt me, because I was like, oh, I feel bad because I hurt him, I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. And it turned immediately into just rage. Just his face, the way that his face would change he had this like very cold stare that he would do that was way scarier than any time he hit me, anything he would ever say. He had this like look that was way scarier, and he would do it in public a lot. So if we were in public and I knew I was going to get it later on for being, doing something, he obviously couldn't be an asshole in public. He wasn't abusive in public, but he would just give you this look and you knew that you were in for it. He just gave me that look. And it just fucking left me alone. But the sense of independence it gave me, and like it's that moment of being like, David and Goliath, and like being this small little human man with a little sword and pricking the giant, and like you got him. And he I remember that feeling in me, that all of the complex feelings of the guilt that I still feel to this day whenever I do anything ever. If I attack someone, I'll rip Orkish for being, for doing something stupid, and then I'll feel extreme guilt about it, because I'm like, why would you say that? That was mean. You're a bad person. I feel the guilt of all of that. I remember the fear of how it feels to question and to actively go against authority. I remember it so clearly. But then I also remember the feeling of elation of, oh, I've toppled a giant. I've cut God. Gods don't bleed, and I've done it. I've drawn blood from God. I can draw blood from God. That feeling was unbelievable. And you can trace back so much of my personality traits, both good and bad, I think, to that moment of becoming an Arsenal fan. So if anyone ever asks me what football team I support, I often say Arsenal. But I don't have any real fucks to give about it. I mean, I don't mind watching football as well. I know that was an overly complex answer to a question about, like, do you ever feel like you just want to watch a Chelsea game or whatever? And not really, but I quite enjoy watching football. If everyone around me was watching football and enjoying it, I could enjoy watching football. I've watched lots of football matches, and I've watched like F1, MotoGP, and I I can get into it, but I never like lock in, like people become like lifelong fans of football teams and stuff. I've never really been bothered about it. I will just watch and enjoy it. Fine, you know, but I don't really actively seek it out. But sometimes if I'm just watching a football match, if there was just a football match on right now and I was just sitting there chatting with my mates and it was on, I would watch it and enjoy it. Like, football can be fun to watch. All sports are fun to watch. You just see the guy get the ball and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? He just did that little fucking thing. And you know, you just get behind a team. World Cups and shit are fun regardless. It's all fun. It can be fun. And I don't really have, but I've never been too bothered, you know. I've never really followed football very much, you know. When you're a little boy growing up in the 90s in the UK, it's pretty hard not to have like a football sticker book with all the things in, you know. I sort of had, you know, I've had FIFA games my whole life. I grew up in like a FIFA town, so no one knew what Final Fantasy was. You were playing Gran Turismo and you were playing FIFA and that was it. So I was sort of like casually into football because you just sort of have to be. Because you're just brought up in like a suburb of London. And that's what all the boys do. The boys wear blue and watch football and play Gran Turismo. And you grow up to become a mechanic. That's what boys do. You do not do anything else. And it's impossible to think of anything else because no one's ever invented anything else. There is no outside of that exists. You know, it's just inconceivable to anyone. Again, another problem with my life because I just needed someone to be like, you can dance, you can sing. Speaking of Final Fantasy, this is a video I was going to watch. I clicked on it at the beginning of the stream. If you go back and watch the very opening second of today's past broadcast, you'll hear.
Hi everyone. Today I'm listening to, well, I'm returning to a composer, and one that I did recently and kind of surprised me with how much I enjoyed it. Of course, a lot of classical influence I heard in it. That is,
you remember we watched
Nobuo Uematsu. Who,
remember we watched her do the One-Winged Angel?
He composes music for video games, and
it's just hilarious to watch this woman who knows nothing about video games but is a classical musician react to.
I enjoyed it so much. I'm returning again. This one is Melodies of Life. The first one I listened to was One-Winged Angel, and I have a bit to read about it first, because if you know me, you know I know nothing about video games except for what I have learned here, pretty much. So let's see what else I have to learn. Melodies of Life is a song from the video game Final Fantasy IX, composed by Nobuo Uematsu, with vocals by Emiko Shiratori. I think I got that right. The song,
I'm assuming
which
she's going to
plays
listen
during
to
the
the
game's closing
Japanese
credits,
version.
takes the primary leitmotif of the game's score and recontextualizes it as a pop ballad. Sounds kind of cool. Role-playing video games like the Final Fantasy series have their origins in early pen and paper role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, and as such, many of them are set in medieval times.
This is
or
an
borrow
interesting
heavily
one
from
for her to pick as well, right? I don't know what I would give her after listening to One-Winged Angel. What song would you suggest to her? Like, it'd be hard to do. Really, the ones from Final Fantasy XIV are the biggest, most classical sounding ones, but maybe you're not aiming for classical, you're just kind of, I don't really know what is a perfect song. I guess this is a decent
from
option.
medieval settings. The Final Fantasy games started with predominantly medieval settings, but beginning with Final Fantasy VI,
Liberale
the
Fatale.
games took on more modern aesthetics, including steampunk
That
and
would be the-
cyberpunk. Ooh, okay.
But then you don't want to,
Some
yeah,
fans
yeah,
complained
it's weird
about
that
this
they
change, and while Final Fantasy's developers
Give her
said
that
that
one
they
next.
wanted to continue pursuing modern and futuristic settings in future Final Fantasy games, they gave Final Fantasy IX a more medieval setting to appease long-time
Apocalyptic
fans
Noctis
who
would be
were
good too,
upset
yeah.
about the shift. Okay, nice to have all this background, because as I said,
Wait,
I
hang
don't know
on,
much
what?
about pursuing modern and complained about this change, including steampunk and cyberpunk.
Oh, right,
Ooh,
right.
Okay. Some fans complained about this change, and while Final Fantasy's developers said that they wanted to continue pursuing modern and futuristic settings in future Final Fantasy games, they gave Final Fantasy IX a more medieval setting to appease longtime fans who were upset about the shift. Okay, nice to have all this background because, as I said, I don't know much about video games.
9 is the culmination of all of the work of the Dream Team, including the people that worked on the previous, the individuals that worked on the previous good ones, like 4 and 6. And then they created their magnum opus in 9.
In this way,
objectively, 9 is fucking unbelievably good.
Life can be seen not just as a farewell to Final Fantasy IX as a video game, but to the roots of the Final Fantasy series as well. This is emphasized by Melodies of Life closing with an orchestral refrain of the classic Final Fantasy prologue theme, which had been in 7 of the previous 8 Final Fantasy games. It would only appear in 1 of the next 4. The prologue theme is one of the most iconic pieces of video game music, as evidenced by its inclusion in the opening ceremonies of the recent Tokyo Olympics, and has even been used by gamers as a wedding march for their real-life weddings. Why not? If you like it, go for it. I shall refrain from commenting on classical music standards of wedding repertoire, which I get a bit tired of because I'm a harpist and I play for a lot of weddings. So anytime there's another great piece of wedding music, I say, bring it on, let's go. So maybe someday I'll get to play a harp arrangement of this for somebody's wedding. Who knows? Let's see what it sounds like.
It's the Japanese version. Imagine I just started crying. A voice from the past joining. It's the story of the game, isn't it? It's the crazy thing about 9. It just tells you the entire story and you just ignore it. Melodies of Life. First of all, Kyoki wants me to play Final Fantasy IX the worst way. What does that mean? That scares me a lot. Second of all, what does she have to say?
What a beautiful melody.
She's in, dude. She loves him, dude.
the vocalist's voice. Let me see if I can pronounce this name again. Let me practice this a bit. Emiko Shiratori. Emiko Shiratori. Okay, it starts to feel more familiar. Emiko Shiratori. This voice is... There's something ethereal and incredibly clear. Her voice is so smooth and clear and weightless, effortless. I love that sound. As I'm listening to this melody, my first, well, even the orchestration around it, everything, it sounds like an orchestral rendition of I don't think of it so much as medieval, but Celtic, you know, traditional Irish, Scottish, Welsh.
There's a few Celtic
whole
tracks
Celtic
in 9 as well, isn't there? Now that she
Um,
picks up on that.
A lot of their folk songs have this sort of melodic contour and feel.
There's a place called
and,
Esto Garza theme.
Shiratori is...
Hang on, it might not be Esto Garza. No. What's the place? It's like over a bridge in the desert. F9 locations list. It's on the outer continent. Kondipiti. This one? I don't know if it is Celtic now that I'm thinking about it. They did love this little... What is this playing? The wind instrument. They love that, don't they? What a banger of a game.
giving it that very light folk song voice as well. Delicate treatment around the little contours of the melody. I like that. And so, of course, with what I read in the introduction about it being medieval focused and so forth, well, the Celtic Isles are great places to explore those ideas, aren't they, and those traditions and histories. So that makes sense to me. Although, to my ears, it sounds maybe not so medieval. It's just incredibly folk song beautiful. However, as
they do kind of bang into that, don't they?
And maybe it's just because this song has been stuck in my ears recently. It's one that I listened to a little while back, but I've listened to it a few times since, and it is a bit of an earworm. It's an incredibly beautiful tune. That is Presley's Can't Help Falling in Love. And there are things about this melody which kind of follow the same melodic lines. There were places where I could almost take it. If she didn't continue singing what was written, what the music is, it could almost be taken to Can't Help Falling in Love. Well, I know that the prologue theme, which comes at the end of this, is what is used as real-life wedding material from this game series. But I'm thinking, this could work really well too, especially if you then do a fun little twist and detour into Can't Help Falling in Love somewhere along the way. That would be a lot of fun.
She's so into it, dude. Wise men say. One of these songs in this game is so Celtic sounding, but I don't know what it's called. This is so medieval sounding. Listen to this. You know? It's the most like, they went so basic fucking medieval sounding shit. Is it this one? Dude, how did he make such bangers? Banger after banger. One track in this game. This is the clearer song. They also do like a weird little dance to this at one point.
Those of you with musical
Oh, no, I can't remember.
ambitions, I challenge you to take this, do a medley, do an arrangement of your own, blend it with Can't Help Falling in Love, and I'd love to hear how it goes because I can hear it in my imagination as something that would be really beautiful.
Get on
Okay,
it, someone.
let's keep listening here. In the instrumental mix. Right here. Wouldn't it work well?
It's just thinking Can't Help Falling in Love in her head. But she's not wrong. This is why you should have given it to her in English, though. Should have given her the English version. It's the same singer.
Nice little stretching of the rhythm there. I'm thinking about this voice and the clarity of it, and I'm listening to the oboe, which is used to contrast, to kind of partner with it. Not really contrast, because they sound so...
Is that what it is?
They
Is
both
that
have
what's in
such a
every single
good,
song in Final Fantasy
clear-
IX? The fucking oboe? No. It's a pan flute or something, isn't it? Ratch is right.
tone, they balance each other. How would I describe the voice in comparison to the oboe? I would say the voice is the flute partner. And so we have the oboe and the vocal flute. And all of the instrumentation in here is tending towards that bell-like, clear quality. Even the piano, as it cascades down the keys. We're going for this feeling of lightness and pure, cold, clean water. Beautiful scenery, forests, meadows, all of this stuff. It brings this sort of imagery to mind. And the more I listen to this, the more even the orchestral parts. I started to say earlier, and then I wanted to pay attention to the music, so I didn't finish the thought.
It's weird because the song
orchestral mix, it really is putting me in the sort of modern orchestrated.
It's sort of about Garnet's mum, right? Isn't this song from Garnet's perspective talking about her mother
version of
and Zidane
Celtic folk song world, which it's not Beethoven, it's not Bach, it's not certainly not Wagner, but
that's when we give it. Now we give her the with the Beethoven thing, the Liberali. I don't know, it's Liberi, but I've always called it Liberali Fatali because I couldn't. It's the same as how you don't know what any of them are called in the game until you play Kingdom Hearts, but or Dissidia. This is when we give her that. I'm surprised they went with this one first, or I guess maybe she just picks them at random. She has no idea what. She just probably went with the top voted comment, you know, which is just a bunch of mindless idiots. Crazy not to have her do Final Fantasy VIII first.
It is a sound that personally I enjoy a lot, and I have a playlist.
Not that this is a bad song. This song's a banger.
Modern.
It's not the best song in the game. What's the best song in the game? Final Fantasy IX. Let's see if you can guess it correctly. There is a correct answer.
Celtic classical, modern classical by Celtic composers, and as well as orchestrations of traditional Celtic music. I have a whole collection of stuff because I just enjoy that sound personally. So I find this very easy to just fall into and
Hi Stella.
And
Dark Messenger.
love.
Wrong.
And I suppose
Try again.
I'll probably put this in that whole mix as well because it fits perfectly with the other stuff that I have there. It's kind of fun. Amy, adding video game music to her playlist. Why not, as I said? If it works.
She so people who don't understand video games, like the industry has changed so much over the last few years, but if you like, people had no idea. People thought video games were Candy Crush. When you were like, oh, I play video games a lot, they imagine you sitting there just losing hours of your life to Candy Crush on a mobile phone, and they have no concept that video games for years go all the way back to the first video game that had a story of any kind, like could be so immersive and could provide such in-depth stories. And not only is it like, the thing with Final Fantasy, the reason that I love it so much is that the early ones had text. So it was like reading a book. So you get to project some of your own imagination onto it like you would with a book, right? So the characters, how they speak and how they sound, the inflections on their words when they're talking to one another, what the names, how the names are pronounced, you know, that kind of thing. The immersion of reading combined with the visuals of a film or a TV show, because you've got a thing to look at, but you're also interacting with it yourself. So you're moving the characters around. The projection of yourself onto the characters and stuff is just so much. It has so much more dimension to it. And people think that video games in 1999 or whenever Final Fantasy IX came out were just, you know, Nigel Mansell racing on the Master System. And it's mad to think And then when people find out that they not only have just such in-depth stories, such well-written stories, the presentation and stuff, but they have music like this in it, is just so fucking amazing to watch. When it's someone who's not just a piece of shit, you know, some people are just pieces of shit, but someone like this who, through her, you know, just probably has spent her life studying her craft and just living outside the same way as I was when I was a kid and I didn't know that Final Fantasy existed and I was only exposed to FIFA and Gran Turismo. I didn't know that you could become a professional dancer as a boy. You know, you have to, if you're a boy, you must grow up to become a carpenter or a mechanic and you must wear blue. And it's that same thing when you discover that these things exist in the world, and that they can be at this level of depth. It's hard to get your head around. And she's like, I'm going to add a song from a game into my playlist. And it's like unthinkable. It's almost like sacrilege to think of before you become exposed to the fact that there is genuine artwork to be discovered within this industry. It's amazing to watch, really. Every time she does one of these videos, I think about it. I've watched a couple of them, but we watched the one where she did One Winged Angel before, and I had the same take away from it, you know. Vala Flamenco is also the wrong answer. It's the wrong answer. The best song in this game is this one, maybe. The Burmese Kingdom theme. When you get to this fucking place and you're like, it's permanently raining and destroyed, it's so the most perfect piece of music for the area. When you walked in and you're like, what happened here? And it's like, oh, it's just this ruined town and it always rains here and everything about this place is melancholy. And Freya's theme by extension. The most medieval sounding thing you've ever heard in your life. This one when it kicks in, you know. Where's the drop? It has a dubstep drop. Not really, but it has like a dark, you hear the boom come in a minute. We're gonna listen to it now. I'm just her, but I don't know anything about music. Harpsichord, more like harpsichord. Needs more melancholy. Needs to have a dark through line. Keeps going up, doesn't it? Dude, he was banging on these games. Nobuo absolutely fucking decimated. Like 4 games in a row, 6, 7, 8, 9. The whole thing. Darkness. Because of her. And then high. Hope. It went lower and higher at the same time. Dude. And then the whole thing shifts, doesn't it? So good, man. I listen to this sometimes to get myself in the mood of being a bastard if I know I have to kill my players in D&D. If I know I've got to fucking kill them. Do you know when I listened to this? Last week for Cura. And I sat there and was like, oh, God damn it. And I'm like, I have to shed me because I don't want to do it. I have to harness a bastard. I have to become something else. I have to focus being a fucking prick. And just like, I gotta kill you, motherfuckers. It's time to die. Because I don't want to kill you. But he does. You know? And this fucking thing floats down. And I'm like, okay. Let's kill a bitch. Let's do it. They did this to themselves. You made me do this. Taking my belt off. You made me do this. Why? Why do you make me do this? God damn it. Red eyes glowing. This might actually be the best song in the game. It's my favourite battle theme in the game by an enormous amount. Oh, Mikey, yeah. I could do this all day. I could just sit and go through Final Fantasy OSTs. All day. The thing is, you have to listen to them so much when you were a kid, because you're just stuck in this fucking fight, trying to fucking kill him. You don't even get to this fight without doing the other fight first as well. You have to do like 3 fights in a row without saving. It's fucking awful. Another banger and then we'll go back to the video. This might just be because I'm in love with Beatrix. Where does one find such a wife? The love of my life right there. The absolute love of my life. You know what else was an absolute pure fucking banger? Is, what's it called? This one. When it's just you and Beatrix and you have to play as just Steiner. And so you level 1 Steiner and like level 48 Beatrix. And you have to defend the whole city by yourself. And you're like, fuck, what? They're like, you're gonna die. The two of you are gonna die. How long can you survive? Defend the entire city. And you're like, oh fuck. Wait, she's on my side? Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, dude. This song, was it called Protecting My Devotion or something? It's fucking awesome bit of the game. Love that shit. That game does an amazing job of splitting the party. I've always wanted to, whenever anyone has always said like, oh, you shouldn't split the party in D&D, I'm like, no, fuck you. You do it so much in I mean, obviously all of the Final Fantasies do it a little bit, but when you do it in 9, it's the best. When you have to split up into 2s, and you go into your little teams of 2 to go and fight all of the fucking random elemental bosses in the world. I'm so desperate to do that in D&D, and I've tried to do it so many times over the years. Run a session where I'm like, okay, you two, you have to pair up. You're pairing up, and you're all going to different parts of the world at the same time, because you have to all do this at the same fucking time. We're going to follow you two, then we're going to go to the other side of the world and we're going to follow you two, and then we're going to follow you two and you two, and all of you have to do this fucking mission and time it right, because you can't use, because of some bullshit reason, because I just want to recreate that moment in Final Fantasy IX for myself, because secretly every time I'm running a D&D session I'm recreating moments from Final Fantasy games that I loved. And also that one time I did Batman. And also that one time I did Star Wars. Fuck you.
Works. If it's beautiful. And this is great music.
I tried to do it in dying order, yeah. I've done it a few times. I've never done it quite to the level that I wanted to.
Joyful strings.
Screaming joyful streaks. What did she say? Strings. I thought she said joyful streaks. Joyful strings!
There's that oboe. I love the oboe.
Joyful streaks! The way she screamed it made me laugh.
Chimes.
And now the wedding part, but that's because there is an actual wedding.
This must be the prologue.
I love that they fail to mention all the most important contextual bits for the context part of her videos. I'm sure she's just pulling it from somewhere, but...
Mark Glissando in there.
I want to do a real wedding one day between two player characters. Why don't none of my characters ever do romance? Do romance. Not my characters, my players' characters.
Sparkles. Yep, it's got it all. Makes a great processional.
She's so into it. She's such a Final Fantasy
It
fan.
has
She doesn't even know it.
stately feel. It has this elegance to it. This hopeful quality. Beautiful mix. It ends up with a wonderful climax. You know, glissando up to the top of the harp. Orchestral flourish. I hope that someday I get to play this for somebody's wedding. That would be fun.
She's a Final Fantasy fan. She doesn't even know
This
it.
is my second experience with a piece of music by this composer. Both pieces from the video game series Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy ain't next. Come on.
He writes beautiful music. The orchestrations are lovely. The melodies are beautiful. It's nice, satisfying stuff to listen to, at least for me. Of course, that's not surprising, since I come from a classical background, and this stuff is very heavily... In fact, I would say it falls squarely in the classical tradition. So it's a bit off track from the whole rock music theme of this channel. At the same time,
Oh yeah, she listens to
it's
rock.
right
yeah.
on target in that
You've heard fucking
as we're exploring
the thing we
where
watched
music
earlier
is going,
on.
where it comes from, how it has traveled. We're going through the whole rock music.
The girl that was the most impressive thing you've
era.
ever seen in your entire life.
But as we've seen, even in the rock world, there's the progressive rock and the mixing of classical and more modern elements, and the question of how is music going to end up in the next 50 years, 100 years? What is going to kind of sift out from all that happened in the 20th century? All the explorations, all the breaking down of traditions and barriers and rules and finding new ways of putting things together. Some from the steeped in tradition and classical side, some from the follow your instincts and bring in your life experience rock side. All of it comes together, and at some point
that is kind of his
kind of
style, though, isn't it? He is sort of a weird classical musician
new style,
who really enjoys
but the stuff
adding a rock element to it and then just a sprinkle of jazz.
Worthy of holding on to is going to be retained, and the chaff will kind of sift out and fall away. And it's so fascinating to me to see something as modern as video games featuring such deeply classical elements, musical styles.
Bro, you need to listen to everything he's ever done.
And seeing how
someone buy her every OST on
as
vinyl.
I'm exploring the
just
rock
lock her
music,
in a
you
room.
see me pointing out things that I recognize from my classical background. It's not exclusive to classical. We find it everywhere. We find it in practically any kind of
We'll
music.
just give it a distant world.
Even if that music is, let's say, Indian classical or classic rock or some African traditional style. There are musical elements which are common to every kind of music, and it's beautiful to see how they apply and what is it that draws people in. And so it's fun for me to listen to something like this on this channel occasionally as well, saying, oh, yeah, people still fall in love with classical music. They do, as long as it's presented in a way that is relevant and meaningful. And this is one of those. So, lovely experience. That was Nobuo Uematsu's Melodies of Life from the Final Fantasy series. I guess that was Final Fantasy 9.
8.
And
do 8 next. Do this. Do this next. This is DMing. Trying to DM Oracle's Rest. Watch what her feet and her hands are doing. How is she doing that? How is she doing that? Magic. How's she doing it? We don't know. We just don't know. Give her this. This is next for that. The worst opening ever, though. Don't make her watch the video with the fucking clip art and the Ariel. It was banging in 1998. Fucking Times New Roman. Just a different font every time. A fucking AMV. This is my editing style. This is where it came from. An AMV made by me at 15 years old. Truly, this is the type of shit I used to edit. Then I got good at editing, and then I went back to this. This is how I edit for my intros on stream. Made an AMV for their own game. The song, though, dude. He never popped harder than 8. This was peak. God, what would you give for a fucking gunblade on my wall? A fucking, you know, life-size one. I mean, the worst thing you've ever seen edited in your life. Ruining the song. The loves of my life. All of the women in these games. 2 of the men. Most of the men in these games can get fucked. I did think I was Squall though. I truly believed that was him. This was me. I was fighting him. I still think I am Squall. I think it's coded in with the orc shit. But Squall had some good values, alright? I'm not a bad man. I'm a nice guy. Look at this. You won't have that. Squall's like, fuck you, dude. I ain't having that, you dickhead. I'll have your back, you twat. Have one. Ruined it. I mean, you timed that really well, Danny, but you did ruin it. You don't understand me. You just don't understand. Tell me you weren't a 15-year-old kid watching anime truly believing that you were an anime character. You're just fucking hanging out at a party. The guy in the corner of a party, they don't understand what it's like to be me. You know? Meanwhile, everyone just thinks you're a fucking freak. Just a psychopath with your hair pulled down over one side of your face. You're wearing big boots. Standing there looking like this. You think you're the coolest motherfucker in the room. You think every fucking girl in the room would do anything to be with you. Meanwhile, you just look like an insane person. The saddest little fucking loser with a mushroom costume on. I am Goku. That's true. I think that's completely true, apart from the fact that Goku is the strongest being in the entire universe and you might be the physically weakest. I'm just waiting for his response here. Yeah, well, show me your arms. Show me your dick. Fair play, though. Orcish. Well, yeah, show me your dick then. Well, fine. Just let me play with your dick then. If you're so strong. Take your shirt off. Right now. Dude, I look great right now. I've just lost all of my weight. I'm back. If I could get in the gym for like a month now, I'm back, baby. I'm back. This has been the greatest thing in terms of like just vapid Ozempic levels of fucking weight loss that could have happened to me. I lost so much weight. I'm shredded to shit. It's fucking beautiful. I just need to get in the gym, refine it up a little bit. I look amazing. The only problem is I have no incentive to do that. For who, you know? For what reason? Waste of time. But I look great right now. For Orcish. For Orcish. He doesn't want me to look good. It upsets him. Half of the reason he works out every day is because he knows that I'm waiting. Lurking. Waiting to get him. Well, prove it. Oh, God. It'll be back soon because I'm eating pasta every night and I'm going to forget that I'm not losing weight anymore and I'm just going to be in that same level of caloric intake. Alright. I'm bored now. Tonight we're playing The Mines of Moria. What's it called? The Lord of the Rings Return to Moria on the second channel if you want to watch that. We're playing that at 7, I think. I don't know. I think it's 7 o'clock we're playing it. I can't see when it is. I don't know. Who would win A in or Royal Rumble? Who would win A in a or Royal Rumble? Orcish? 7 PM after Gwig. Okay. Alright. Oracle's Rest. Ratch is breaking down right now. Losing his mind. Because he didn't get to play combat. Hi Lele. Jesus wept. What's the matter? What's wrong with you? Work has destroyed his fragile little mind. Alright, I offer you 3 games. I'm going to play one of 3 expensive games. I can only afford to play one of them, and there's only one of these 3 that I want to play more than the other 2. They all cost £50.
Oh, Braid, you can afford a game that's £50?
No. I just want to play something new. Just want to play something new. One of these comes with a game from 2011 as well. We'll play a game from 2011 and then we'll play the new one. If we don't kill Par immediately, Par would win. That's true. Par does need to be destroyed. So, the game vote today is going to be between only 3 games. Which... Now the question is, this isn't the winner. This is which game is the game that Bradley wants to play. Hi Kiyoki, thank you for the cold hard cash. Quidditch. Harry Potter's Quidditch experiences. I don't know what the game's called. But why not head out and purchase a copy of Harry Potter's Quidditch Experiences, brought to you by Kiyorki. No, I'm not playing that. I didn't even play the other one that didn't even look bad. But it was illegal to play. Be in trouble if you play it. There are 3 games that I want to play. I want to play the 3 new games. Black Myth Wukong, Star Wars Outlaws, and Space Marine 2. But, which one do I want to play the most? Which is the game that Bradley wants to play the most? Let's see if you can guess between these 3. What do you think? I'll give you until I get back from going to pee. Okay, I'm back. We've got 3 games here. We're going to play one of these tomorrow. Three games here. 2 games for neurodivergent men. and one that I think is accessible for everyone to enjoy. Alright, so 40% of you think that the game that I want to play the most is Black Myth Wukong. 35% of you think that the game that I want to play the most is Star Wars Outlaws. And 23% of you think that the game that I want to play the most is Space Marine 2. Well, you'll find out the answer after the game vote. Sponsored by Felix K and your favourite cereal. It's the semi-final. The semi-final. Now, you're no longer voting for the game that you think that I want to play because clearly none of you know me at all. Or do you? You're just voting for the game that you want to win. Which game would you most like to watch me play? Because it doesn't matter whether I enjoy playing the game or not, apparently. Because you wouldn't, to be honest with you, the more likely, the game that I want to play the most on here, if I play that, is probably going to have the least views, because that just seems to be how it works. If I actually want to enjoy playing a game, I have to play it offline. So, would you rather watch tomorrow Black Myth Wukong, Star Wars Outlaws, or Space Marine 2? Bear in mind, I want to play all three of these. There's just one of them that I want to play the most, and I'll tell you at the end. This is now simply a question of what game do you want me to play tomorrow? I can only afford one of them. I want to play all three of them. I can only afford one. Which one will it be? What's it going to be? This is the semi-final. The loser will be removed from the list. Hilarious that JJ voted for Space Marine 2 by typing it as I opened the vote, losing his vote, even though I know for a fact JJ would have picked that one anyway. Which camp do you find yourself in? Neurodivergent men who go with the flow of what everyone else says, Black Myth Wukong. Neurodivergent men who are exclusively just neurodivergent men, Space Marine 2. Or are you more of perhaps a girl? Are you more of perhaps a Disney shill? Are you more perhaps of an everyman? And voting for Star Wars Outlaws. Those are the three categories that are going head to head here in the game vote. Which will you vote for? And why? Which game will I purchase with money I don't have tonight and install, ready to be played upon thine morrow? Which game would you most like to see Greg edit an intro for me for? The choice, as always, is yours. pretty close, huh? That doesn't bode well. Now I want Space Marines to win. Just use the intro that is already made because it's perfection. That was literally my joke. But then I knew that if I said that, they would think that was that it was an endorsement by me, because everyone in here is an animal who doesn't know the difference between me endorsing a game and just saying the words. Removed from the list. Space Marine 2. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the final round. Now think carefully. Think very carefully here. Which game would you like me to purchase and play tomorrow? This is the final round. Is it going to be Black Myth Wukong? A game that everybody has already watched played through by every streamer and will definitely not want to watch me play. Or Star Wars Outlaws, a game that everyone hates, so no one will watch me play. The choice is yours. Thanks, Gabe. Now I can afford half of one of the games. Because games are too expensive. They're too expensive. Thank you, Gabe. It's going straight towards the game fund. The game fund sponsored by Gabriel the Informed One. My God.
We are not Space Marines. Go-Go Rangers. In space.
How did you get text-to-speech to work? I don't have that on. How did you do that? Now we can almost afford one of the games. Because games are too expensive. Jaeger has hidden Leaf Village skills. Norwegian black magic. Odin's magic. Alright, 30 seconds left to vote on it. Thank you very much, Gabe. Thank you very much, Jaeger. All that cash will go towards purchasing these games. Star Wars Outlaws. 56% of the vote. An outright winner. An outright winner. But the question is, what was the answer to the question that we had? Is this the song I need? Nope. We'll keep it. Is it this one? Which game? The first question was, which game is the game that Bradley most wants to play? Now, I want to play Black Myth Wukong. I want to play Star Wars Outlaws. And I want to play Space Marine 2. All of them. But there was one that I particularly woke up this morning and I wanted to play. I can tell you now, the order in which I want to play these games, given the options, given the choice. If you were to say, Bradley, here's all three of them. Which order would you play them in? If you were to play your favourite first, the one that you want to play the most first, and the one that you want to play the least last. Did you guys vote on what you wanted to watch or what you thought I wanted to win, by the way? Not in the first one, in the last vote, in the final. I'm curious. Watch. What I will watch. I want to watch Star Wars. Fulham Phil, thank you very much. We can maybe afford all 3 of them now. The games in order of in order of the ones that I want to play. The one that out of the 3 that I want to play the least. Star Wars. Out of the 3 of them. Because it looks like it needs a patch. Just feels like one of those games that just isn't ready. I don't know. The one that I want to play the second least, Black Myth Wukong. The one that I want to play the most, Space Marine. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you the story. I'll tell you this. This is why I don't ever say anything during the game votes. This is why I don't say anything. Because if I say the one that I want to play the most, it's the one that you want to watch the least. I even said it at the beginning of this vote, knowing. Because if we were going to play a game that I wanted to play, I'd play Final Fantasy 9 and stream it to 9 viewers tomorrow. This is just the rules of the stream. I got in bed last night early. And I was on TikTok, and this is too much epic music for me. And for some reason, I was getting Warhammer 40k lore videos. And I don't know why. I haven't looked at anything. I don't know anything about the Space Marine games. I don't know anything about 40k, apart from like random things that have been told to me by random people over the years, and anything we might have looked at online or whatever. And it gave me this like lore video on the Tyranid Hive, and was like, so the Tyranid Hive is just this fucking thing that's the size of the Milky Way. And it told me all about the Tyranid Hive, and I was like, oh, that's fun. And then I scrolled again, and it gave me another lore video on a select few Space Marines. And it was when I was a kid, I've painted one group of Space Marines ever in my life. In fact, it's the only mini painting I've ever done. I was 11. I don't know. I was very young. Me and my brother cousin bought from Games Workshop a set of Space Marines, and then he painted his like green and red. I don't know who that is, but I painted mine black and white. And I don't know who they are. Who are the black and white Space Marines? I know there's a couple of different ones, but there's like black with the white pauldrons. They're like baller as shit. The Black Templars, they like go off kilter or whatever. It gave me that lore video, right? And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I was thinking about the fact that me and Liam want to paint minis, right? We're going to set up this thing soon. I've been trying to do it, but then I got sick and we didn't really get around to doing it yet. So the plan is over winter to hang out, because you don't want to go out as much, right? So we're going to just paint minis and paint D&D stuff for no reason. I haven't got a D&D game in real life to play. And I was sort of like laughing to myself this morning because I went to bed. By the way, I haven't seen anything of Space Marine 2. I don't know anything about Space Marine 2. I haven't seen anything. I don't watch streamers, and I don't look stuff up about games. And I also don't know anything about 40k, so I was like, okay, well, that looks cool, but whatever. I went to sleep, and I dreamed I was playing Space Marine 2. Which is really weird for me. I very rarely... My dreams are usually a nightmare where I'm being chased by something, or something's trying to kill me or whatever. But even if I do dream of video games, it's usually because I played one all day. If I played Deadlock all day, I would just go to bed and I would dream of playing Deadlock. And then you wake up and you feel like you haven't slept properly, and you're like, oh, I can't play anymore. And then you play more all day and you dream of it again, and then you're like, this isn't giving me rest for some reason. You ever get that kind of sleep? You play games all day and dream of it. But for some reason in my dream, I was playing Space Marine 2. And I woke up this morning and I wanted to play Space Marine 2. Now, here's the thing. That's so scary that I don't know anything about this game, haven't had much of an interest in it, watched 2 videos on TikTok because it was listening to me, and then it played them to me in my dreams, like that episode of Black Mirror. The simulation. I took it as prophecy. I've been watching Vikings and they have dreams of stuff and then the prophecy comes true. And I woke up and was like, okay, I'll play Space Marine 2 then. And I looked to see how much it was and was like, okay, I guess I could just buy one of these new AAA games that have come out. I've been wanting to play Black Myth Wukong. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to play Black Myth Wukong and I'm going to get halfway through it and I'm not going to be able to beat a boss. I'm going to get frustrated and I'm going to uninstall it. I still want to play it. I want to play Star Wars Outlaws because I love Star Wars. And even though everyone's said the game is shit, I love Star Wars enough that I think it will absolutely I'll be carried through it on my love for it. And but Space Marine 2 I have no interest in other than I was indoctrinated in my sleep. But I want to play it. And then I woke up this morning and was like, okay, well, if I play Black Myth Wukong, no one's going to watch me play it because everyone's already fucking watched everyone play it. I'm like a month late. If I play Star Wars Outlaws, not only am I late to that, everyone's already watched it, but also people hate it. So now, no one's going to watch me play it. So if I play Space Marine 2, it actually just came out and is still on the wave hype, that I might actually be able to play a game and catch some of the hype and be able to get good viewers and make up for the bad viewership that has been happening over the last couple of months that has absolutely crippled my channel. And then I was like, well, let me see what they want. And you know what got me? The guilt. The goddamn guilt got me. I was like, but this isn't my channel. It's theirs. It's theirs. It doesn't matter what I want. It's never mattered what I want. It's what they want. Let me see what they want. I know, I'll give them the 3 options. And hope they pick Space Marine. So we'll play Star Wars, I guess. You fucking bastards. You bastards. Alright, how much is it? It's on Ubisoft Plus. No, I'll play Star Wars. I'm down for it. I've been wanting to play it since they announced. I have Ubisoft Connect. Which is now doing an update. How long is this game? Is this a big game? Oh, the other thing I looked up as well. I have Space Marine 1. So when I said if I play Space Marine, I'll play the game from 2011. I was like, I'll just play that. That is apparently like 10 hours long. So I was like, I'll just bang that out. I don't know if you need to. I don't know if this is a direct sequel to that previous game or if you don't need to play it or whatever, but I own it. Space Marine 1. So I was like, I guess I'll just do Space Marine 1 and then Space Marine 2. Ubisoft. Is this my password? I haven't logged into Ubisoft since Leah made me download Ubisoft Connect for the game that we never played. Play Star Wars Outlaws now. Get the game. It's £14 with Ubisoft Plus, or £60 if I just buy it outright. So it's £14, but I have to remember to unsubscribe from Ubisoft Plus. And then I'll buy Space Marine 2 and play it privately. None of you want to watch me play that, right? That's what I gathered from that vote. So I'll just play that tonight. Why doesn't this work? This is a 16-hour game. You can't download it for another 30 minutes. Wait, Star Wars Outlaws isn't out yet? Does it come out today? I wanted to see Space Marine. Well, maybe you should have. You can take that up with everyone who voted against it, can't you? Who didn't vote? Take some names down. Go back in the VOD, take down the names, and send them a message. I convinced myself you were playing Space Marine 2. Right. So did I. But no, we're playing fucking Star Wars Outlaws. The good thing about me going into this begrudgingly is I'll probably enjoy it more. If I go into a game expecting to hate it, it might be one of the only ways I ever come out liking it. Alright, Ubisoft Plus. And I'm putting a note in my calendar to unsubscribe from Ubisoft Plus. Unsub from Ubisoft. Gonna remind me to do that in 3 weeks. I will be sending personalized DMs to all of you. We need a new vote. Hi Jack. I came in to see your shining smile, and of course you're talking about being begrudging. Dylan, thanks for the 36-monther. Chat doesn't realise Star Wars Outlaws has a woman as the main character. No one wants me to play Space Marine because it's a game for neurodivergent men, and this is a chat room of white women. There are 5 neurodivergent men standing awkwardly at the corners of the room. But remember that the most profitable and high viewership game I've ever played on the channel was Stardew Valley. I want to play Space Marine. I'm only allowed to play Stardew Valley. I am a sinner. I have sinned in a previous life, and I've been placed into this one as a penance for whatever I did before. Elden Ring had great viewership. Did it? Did it? Or did Enakio actively cuck me? Remember when Enakio put followers only mode on for Elden Ring, which I exclusively only played to get viewership? Never forget what he did to me that day. I was betrayed by my own son. The most cursed Elden Ring run. I can't seem to buy this game, which may bode well for me. If I can't buy Star Wars Outlaws, then I'll try and buy Black Myth Wukong. And if I can't buy that, maybe I'll get to play Space Marine 2. I don't want to buy the game outright. This is annoying. I just want the Ubisoft Plus thing. And I want it to auto-cancel after an hour. Could I buy it and then cancel it immediately? Because I would still have the month, right? And then I wouldn't forget to cancel it. If you can't catch an outlaw, you might have to buy a monkey. If that doesn't work, you're going to war. Yeah. One of the things, I wanted to play Space Marine on stream just so I could just let all of you go nuts and tell me the lore. Which I know would probably end up being the most annoying thing ever. It's one of those Pandora's box moments where I think that it will be fun to just be like, hey, what does this mean? And then all of you just start flaming each other and just writing blocks, chunks of text.
Well, after the Horus Heresy, the Necrons attacked, and they didn't allow for.
And you're like, all right, well, I just wanted a vague idea of what the lore was, not the book itself downloaded into the chat room. But that was how I was going to approach it, because I was curious as to. You know, because then I can just be like, hey, what are custodies? The what? Oh, it's Horus. Are you named after the Horus Heresy or the Eye of Horus? Yeah, there's people that say what Jack says. There are two. There does seem to be two types of 40k fans. There are the people that just go, orcs, war, space. And then there are people that are like,
well, a Custodes is actually a super space marine. They're the personal guard to the emperors. They were created during the... And you're like, okay, they're going... And they just go in, they just start listing off absolutely everything about it. And you're like, there is so much fucking lore. It's disgusting. Complains nobody's watching, complains that a game will result in high viewer engagement. Well, no, because it'll be one person who will just copy-paste an entire Wikipedia in the chat. But no, you are right. I've said this 1,000 times. You will never please me. No matter what you do. I will always ask the question, and you will always answer it incorrectly. There's no pleasing me. Don't even try. You know, just accept that I'm going to get annoyed at you for what you said. But also accept that I don't really mean it in my heart of hearts. That I truly don't give a fuck about anything that any of us are saying. Myself, I can sound like I have a lot of conviction and I'm excited about something, but really I just, as soon as the stream ends, I've purged the entire thing from my brain. I've ADHD walked into 6 different rooms, and now I'm making dinner and watching Vikings. And then I'm at the computer again playing Deadlock. And now it's 2 weeks later. And I definitely don't give a fuck. And you're still sitting there like, I just wanted to say that one thing and you said that.
You know, this is how we get people doing the fucking ban thing. We got people we need to unban, by the way, and I don't want to do it. I'll be bothered, but they're in there waiting. They're in jail waiting to be unbanned. Remind me to do it at some point this week. When I seem like I'm in a really good mood. By following the channel, you opt in. And that is literally just you opt into my bullshit. I can't buy Star Wars Outlaws, and it's winding me up so much. Why doesn't any of your shit work, Ubisoft? I'm never one of these guys either.
Huh, Ubisoft? Huh, Activision?
I never do that. I don't know what any of these companies are. I don't care about this fucking the developers. I don't care about any of it. I just want the game and I want to click play on it. That's how I game. And there's everyone on the internet always has an opinion on shit. But do you know what, Ubisoft? You've done it. You've pushed me. You've pushed me and I've become one of those people now. Because this is unbelievably annoying. Have I bought it? Have I bought it like 3 times? Where's my fucking email? I feel like I've bought up 7 Ubisoft Plus subscriptions. No, apparently I haven't bought anything. Okay. What is going on? This is why I only play Steam games. Do you remember when years ago I was like, I only want games on Steam? I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not using the other launchers. There was a point where I was like, I'm not using any of the other launchers. I'm not using a PlayStation. I just if it ain't on Steam, I don't care. Because on Steam, you click a button and it's installed. How did none of them know how to do that? How did Steam get that so right? How does none of these other launchers work? Space Marines 2 streams followed by a miniature painting session. Well, yeah, but the problem is, if I do Space Marines 2 in 3 weeks, absolutely, if you don't want to watch it during the apex of its hype, if I don't play Space Marines 2 tomorrow, I'm never playing it. Because no one, definitely no one's going to watch it in 2 weeks, which is essentially what I'm doing with Star Wars Outlaws and Black Myth Wukong. So this is where we're at. This is the problem with being this type of streamer if you're just not on it on day one. If you ain't on it on day one, you got to wait 6 months. After 6 months, all games become applicable and it's fine. It doesn't matter. Or wait for like, you know, like a DLC or something. Alright, I can't buy this game and I'm getting annoyed. I'm just going to end the stream. Rage quitting. Dude, so annoying. I might play Star Wars Outlaws tomorrow if I can install them. Or I might just show up and play fucking Space Marine because everyone hates me and no one cares what I do. I've always wanted to be one of those streamers who just gets to play what he wants. I tried it for a little while and it was the most devastating thing to my channel. Bilton, thanks for the 84-month thumb. You ever see those streamers? They just play what they want. They're just like, oh, I'm so excited for Space Marine. I'm playing it when it comes out, and they play it. And they enjoy it, and they just get to play it when it comes out. You know? And they're like, oh, this new game's coming out. Oh, I can't wait to play it. And they just get to play it on the day. On the day it comes out. Now, a lot of this is my fault because I like to finish games before I start a new one. Right? Because I have OCD. And I like all my books to be arranged on the shelf correctly. So I want to finish this game before I start a new one, otherwise I just can't handle it. And usually that means I'm halfway through a game, you know. Sorry guys, we're halfway through Red Dead Redemption. We can't start playing a new game till this is done. And then by the time we finish it, that game is dead in the water. You need a 1 day a week to play anything. No. This is why we do the game vote. You guys wanted to watch Star Wars Outlaws. None of you wanted to watch Space Marine. This is what you did this. How dare you? How dare you turn this on? You watch me eventually play Space Marine 2 and think it's shit. I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna play it and be like, I don't even understand why that guy said that though. But why does this gun have a fucking thing on it anyway? Wait, but if these aliens, like, if they can regenerate, what's the point? Might as well just fucking blow up the planet. I don't know. I don't know anything about the game. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what you do. I literally have no idea. I think maybe you fight the Tyranids in that game. Maybe you fight other things. I don't know. Maybe you fight anything you want. Maybe there's just different levels. I don't even know what type of game it is. I don't understand how there's an online multiplayer and why people keep calling it Helldivers. Do you know what else I don't know about? Helldivers. Never played it. Don't know what it is. And I guess we never will know. And I guess we never will. We'll play them all. I think, honestly, that what I would like to do is play Star Wars, Space Marine, and Black Myth Wukong. If you're down for that for the next few games. I don't know if that sounds interesting to you or not. So that is the plan. Unless
I mean, if I fucking boot up Star Wars tomorrow and 50 people are in here, I'm gonna delete the entire channel. But we'll see how it goes. I'll play Space Marine 1 as well. I don't know if it's... I don't know. I don't know anything about any of it. In 2 hours to Moria. I also don't know what that is. So tune in for that on the second channel, Brad Random. That's it. I've got nothing else for you. I'll see you tomorrow for Star Wars. I am, by the way, I was joking. I was really memeing a lot. I'm looking forward to playing Star Wars Outlaws. I actually really want to play it, so I'm in. I'm in if you're in. You're in. Haha, you said you're in. Star Wars, you know what that means? We need to crack out, right? The old Star Wars intro. I'll smash and edit out. I'll do a 20-minute edit tomorrow morning. If Greg sends me all of his Star Wars Outlaws footage. Has he played it? Surely he has. Alright boys, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for the subs, thanks for the cold hard cash, Gabe, Jaeger, Phil. Ratch is going to edit a 40k Space Marine 2 intro for me. Oh, Greg is currently playing it. Oh, Jesus. Jesus Christ. Send me all the footage. Is it like 50 gig? Alright, see you later. See you tomorrow, boys. Peace! See you in a bit for Lord of the Rings.